All right. Hi humans. So I'm working on a serverless handbook chapter about using Chrome or Chrome Puppeteer specifically on AWS Lambda. I worked on this a little bit last week when I had to refactor my entire screenshot process to use Chrome AWS Lambda. And then I figured, well, this is a great time for a chapter I've been planning to write anyway, so I'm going to finish the research, add some more notes on scraping, and write the chapter. And right now, what I'm working on is the example code that's going to go into that chapter of the book. I'm going to have essentially two projects. One is going to be taking screenshots of Google homepage based on a search input you write in. The other one is going to do scraping because a lot of people said that they use one thing they would consider using Chrome Puppeteer for in a serverless context would be scraping. And then it turned out that writing a scraper is actually really, really hard. So that's where I am right now. Hey Magdi, how are you doing today? I've got the core setup configured. I have a project that runs Chrome and is able to get some sort of result from Google, but it's not yet actually parsing that result and returning the proper stuff. So let me show you where I'm at. If we Google for something, what do you guys want to Google for? I'm just gonna, Magdi, I'm doing pretty well. Let's Google for Magdi Siddiq, because he was just saying stuff. So apparently he has a Medium page and a bunch of really cool stuff. One thing you'll notice, one thing about writing scrapers is that it's super annoying because you really have to customize them for every page. So what Google does is that they wrap every result in this RC class. And so what I'm going to try to do here is take that RC class, iterate through all of them, and kind of see if I can get the actual DOM node, or if I can get the content so that I can return just links. So what we're gonna do here is say for let result of what did I have of await page $. So one thing that Chrome Puppeteer does really well is that they're basically, does that not work? Must have a symbol iterator method. Okay, so we get a handle. Why don't we get all of the results? That's kind of annoying. And also, why is my internet messing up? Yes, Magdi, that's true. Always wait for the selector, but it's weird that my internet is being sketchy again. So I'm going to look up Chrome Puppeteer docs. And basically right now the problem is that apparently the $ approach to selecting stuff doesn't return an iterable. So let's see what I can do to select things better. So select page selector, which page $selector, let's see, the method runs document. Aha, I need to run $. Okay, so we run $. And then we're going to console log result.html. Let's see if that works. No. So how do we get HTML from a DOM node? Or actually, what you can do is look for the link. So we got the RC, then we need the href. And that should be the main link, right? See, span class. This is the annoying part of writing this kind of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna take the href and see what we get. Console log result await $a. So we get the actual hrefs. Yeah, Magdi, you're right. We needed to do $. So this will give us the links. So what we can do then, let's see. Const link equals await result blah. So then we're going to console log link dot let's see, what do we need? Can we get properties, get property? Can we get, let's do it to string. That will be the easiest way to to debug this stuff. So I'm going to run yarn deploy, and then we're going to try what happens when we access the URL. I still don't really have local tests for this, which is frustrating. And let's see, expression expected. Okay, so if the link exists, then we say link and link to string. And if the link doesn't exist, we're going to ignore that for now. Okay, got that. Now let's see if it's going to deploy and work. I don't know why my internet is being weird today. It's doing that thing again where the upload rate drops to 0 and then comes back up, and it just keeps cycling through that. Okay, so that's deploying. And we will soon get testing. Let's go to AWS in the meantime, and I can go to CloudWatch. Come on. Come on. Click. Okay, so computer's being silly because it's hot today. Computer, don't be too silly, please. CloudWatch. That's still uploading. Come on. What can I quit? I can quit you. I can quit you. Definitely don't need Chrome. Don't need Zoom. I do need Spotify for the background music. Log groups. Let's see. Ba-ba-da-bum. Okay, come on. And I said this is called a scraper. So Chrome example dev scraper. Now I need to wait for this to actually deploy. And if my internet is going to be a problem, that could get really tedious. Checking stack update progress. Come on, computer, you can do this faster. How's everyone's weekend going today? Or so far? It's actually pretty hot, pretty warm in San Francisco for some reason. 23 Celsius. I know 23 Celsius probably doesn't sound like a lot to many of you, but in San Francisco that's crazy weather. Okay, so we take the URL. Now, if I just go to the URL, I will get a please provide a search parameter. So we can say search is going to be, let's try Mehdi again because he's still around. So this is now hitting the AWS Lambda, which is waking up a headless Chrome setup and then running Chrome Puppeteer to try to scrape the actual result. It's actually going to google.com, opening the tab, the input field, typing Mehdi into it, and then clicking submit, which I think is really cool that you can do that. So we've got some logs here, and let's see if we, cool. So we found a bunch of these guys, but JS handle at node is not a very useful thing. So what we can do instead is, if link exists, let's try console log link dot, what do we have as element, bounding box, dispose, evaluate, focus, get properties, JSON value, screenshot, tap, select, tap to string. How do I, let's see, so this returns query selector all, then the page, if no, the return value resolves to blah, but then how do I get stuff from the actual element? Okay, I can click it. Can I get the values? How do I get attributes? Chrome Puppeteer, get attributes from node. Get property graph, that's a good idea. Get custom. Some people are saying eval. Let's see. Query selector all, map call anchors a.href. Oh. Okay, so get attribute href would be what we want. Let's see, get attribute link.get properties ref. Why are they suggesting eval? Call anchors a.ref page $eval. Interesting. Okay, so I should be able to just say link.ref. So we can try that. No, TypeScript won't allow that. Let's try get property ref. And then how do I get the actual value as well? Console log link. Why is this so hard? Without evaluate function. Inner text. Okay, that could work. We can and we need to await that. So let's try awaiting it. Why is this so hard? Property, what? For this, why is this so confusing? I really thought that using Chrome Puppeteer would be easier than this. Value of HTML attributes. Page evaluate document query selector. Eval span style number. Why is everyone saying eval? That feels weird. What does eval even do? Let's go back to Chrome Puppeteer. Chrome Puppeteer. How does eval work? Oh, and while that's happening, let's try console logging the link as well, just so we see more of what's in there. I'm gonna deploy this while we go read the documentation again. Come on. API reference v5. We're not actually using v5. I'm using v3 because they released both v4 and v5 within the same month, which is last month, and things haven't caught up yet. So eval selector page function. Page eval divs. Okay, that's interesting. We can try that next. So basically what I can do is get, okay, I'll see first how this works, and then I'm gonna go back to, and I'm gonna try the eval trick. Although the eval trick feels weird. Expression to evaluate. That's the XPath. Styles, authenticate, bring to front. Okay. This is all, wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Oh, cool. Magdi has a great example. Let's see what he says as soon as this uploads. Come on, computer. Wow. I'm dropping down to 48 kilobytes per second. And then going back up to 3 meg. That's so annoying. It's not even my CPU being a problem today. So I think, Magdi, your code didn't actually come through. So that's deploying. Come on, computer. Okay, I've got that. I'm gonna run this. Wow, it takes 150 seconds to deploy now. That's annoying. or just frustrating, I guess. Did that run already? I think it did. So dev scraper. Yep, 42, that's us. Let's see. Oh, cool. So we got a bunch of elements. That would be the link, and then the actual property. I don't know where the property is. Oh, cool. So we got the value. We actually get nice. So if I click, how do I get that? Get property, and then how do I get the value? JSON value, result handle JSON value. Okay. So what I need to do is say const links, or let's say let links equals an array, and we're going to go like this. Links equals an array, or actually links is going to equal promise.all, which is going to be generated from await page $$.rc. No, that's, yeah, okay, let's go like this. So const search results equals that, and then we're going to iterate through the search results, and each of them is going to do stuff. So this doing promise.all here enables us to do it in parallel without the await. Yeah, Magdi, I think that still didn't come through, but I think I'm pretty close to figuring it out. So we're iterating through all of them, and for each of them we say const link equals await result $A, right? This needs to be an async method. Cool. And then if link exists, otherwise we're going to return null. So we get if link exists, then we say we return URL is await link.get property ref, then prop with prop.json value. So this should get the URL, const results. Yeah, actually I think search results should be awaited, because otherwise it could be an issue. So we get the URL, and we can get the what do these URLs look like? If we go to google.com and we search for something again. Oh, great. Now my whole Wi-Fi stack is being weird. So I still don't know why, but sometimes on my computer this thing happens where you see even localhost stops loading, and it just doesn't load. Something gets stuck somewhere deep in Brave, or in any browser I'm using actually. It gets confused, and then even the homepage of Brave takes forever to load. But let's see if we go make this acidic. Yeah, make this acidic. If we look at the URLs, what do they say? Come on. So they have your href inside. Wow, that's so weird. So the href has an h3 with the title. So we can say title is await link $h3. Then we say title, and from the title we're going to say title.getProperty title and title get property. What's this gonna be called? Get property. I saw that here. This one had an idea. Inner HTML. Page.evaluate handle. A handle, evaluate handle document. What is evaluate handle? Page evaluate and evaluate handles that page evaluate returns in-page object. If the function is passed, okay, whatever. So we say title dot inner HTML. No. Element handle. Get property inner HTML. So we get that stuff, and then we got the prop and we return prop.json value if prop exists, right? Yep. If prop exists, prop and prop JSON value. No, prop. So we're awaiting for this entire chain of promises. And here we're also going to say if prop actually existed, then we get the JSON value. And this could fail, but we'll find out. So I'm gonna yarn deploy this again. And I think now it's going to, I'm hoping that this is going to almost work. Prop implicitly has an any type. Of course it does. H3 div span, yeah. So that would work, but I actually do want just whatever is in the H3. Okay, I'm just gonna call this an any. Is there a return type? It actually does return any. Okay. So I'm gonna, can we call it a string? Nope. I'm gonna call it an any. And here I'm also gonna say that this is an any. Now we try again. Passed as our, no. Title. Type null is not assignable to blah. Argument of type element handle or null. Get properties. Properties get window. Oh, that could work. Yeah. Return properties get. This could actually be useful. Okay, so let's try that. If link, let's say const link properties equals await link dot get properties, and that will save us a lot of grief here, because we can then say so everything returns a JS handle. Okay, so then we can say link, come on, link properties dot get ref, and we want to say that we want the JSON value of that, if of course it exists. But then, so one of the problems I have is that my VS Code is auto-completing and fixing things as if I have JavaScript with conditional chaining, but the TypeScript version I'm using doesn't support conditional chaining, so things are getting very confusing. So what we gotta say is, if this exists, then we want to get the value. Object is possibly undefined. No, it isn't. Then we get, otherwise we say null. Is possibly undefined. If it's not undefined, then please do that. Wow, how is that still complaining? Sometimes TypeScript can be really annoying. Does that work? No? What about like this? There we go. So if link properties exists, then we get the JSON value, otherwise null. And then here we are awaiting where we get, yeah, why is this breaking up so weird? So await link $h3, but then stuff here is complaining. How do I make this easier to use? If we want to get the title, maybe let's try just getting the links first. Let's see if that works. Yeah, my formatting pipeline is, I think, a little confused because I'm using, this is like a subdirectory in a bigger project, and this one it's like a project in a subdirectory that I want to just use as its own thing so that I can link to examples. But then I guess VS Code is picking up formatting rules and stuff from the overall project, which is built in a newer version of JavaScript. So that's probably what's confusing it. Okay, now let's see if this gets deployed, and then we can figure out how to get titles and descriptions. By the way, how much is the stream lagging or dropping when my internet speed goes down? Because the internet speed keeps coming and going for some reason. Okay, come on, computer. Come on, you got this, computer. Okay, so we go here and we might see something useful come back. It's taking a while. That's in theory a good sign. I'm just hoping it doesn't error out. Cool, we got a lot of nulls. Nice. So that means we iterated through the things, but we were unable to get link properties. So let's console log those. Console log link properties dot, let's see, dot entries, and see what we get. I'm gonna yarn deploy that again, and then we're gonna see what happens. Basically, we got a bunch of results, but they are all null because something here didn't work. And I really wish that Chrome Puppeteer was a lot closer to jQuery or whatever it's based on, because I honestly do not understand their logic for how this is supposed to work. It's very confusing to me. Do they have any examples of scraping? Puppeteer dev. Come on, they gotta have examples of, yeah, so screenshots, great. Create a PDF, also great. Get dimensions, also great. Interesting. So maybe I should just use this. So page.evaluate, and then you give them a function, and you, where's document defined? document element, but where are they actually defining it? This might actually be easier. Let's see. Okay, so that ran, or that deployed. I can now rerun the example. Come on, example. Pa-pa-da-pam. Okay, we can then go here and see what we get. 1458, that's us. So we got a map of entries. What? This isn't useful. Why is that? None of this is useful. Okay, let's see page evaluate. I think that might be the only way we can make this reasonable. Okay, $eval. Okay, so let's do that then. We are going to do it this way. So we're gonna say we get the result, we're going through all of the results, and then we're going to return stuff like this. So for URL, we're going to say await result $eval, and we're going to say a, which will give us a node, and we're going to say node.href. Href does not exist on type element, blah blah blah. Node dot, what exists on the element? We can say get attribute node, get attribute href, and it will return, that should return a string. And then for the title, we can say await result $eval h3. We get a node, and we say node.inner HTML, like that. And for the description, we're going to await what? And I think this is going to be way easier. Hey, Werther's Original, I'm actually scraping Google just as a simple example. I don't know if that is the correct. I don't know if that was a good idea, but that's what I'm going with. So for the description, we want to await result $eval span.st, and for the node, we get node.inner HTML. So that should be. Let's try that. We're gonna yarn deploy, and then we're going to see if this works. And by the way, Werther's Original, I still really love that name. This is going to be, this isn't like a real project. I'm kind of just playing around with scraping and Chrome running on AWS Lambda, and using this as an example for serverless handbook so that I can I try to build smaller, more focused examples for that kind of stuff. And I also try to actually prove to myself and others that the example code works, which I think usually when I'm writing blog posts, I kind of extract code from what I was already working on and talk about it. For a book, I try to have special examples that were created just for that, because I think that works better. And yeah, for screenshots, this one is basically gonna have two examples. One is going to be for scraping, the other is going to be as a like a screenshot kind of thing. The screenshot part is pretty easy because Chrome Puppeteer makes that relatively easy, and apparently scraping has turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it was, which is why we're here. but I'm hoping that this is going to work now. So that's the thing about the Puppeteer bot. As far as Google is concerned, this looks like a real user coming in. So they should allow this. Let's see. We're searching for Mehdi, and we'll see what we get. It's running. Oh, look at that. This actually worked now. So if I go into Json Lint, let's try to find Json Lint. So this worked. Come on, Json Lint. See what I mean about my Wi-Fi internet stack being weird, or network stack? I really need to figure out what's doing that. So validate JSON. See, if we search for Mehdi, we get URLs, we get titles, we get descriptions, and the whole thing becomes a nice little JSON. What else can we search for? Let's try searching actually for Mehdi Siddiq, and we're gonna get the top 10 results for that. Sweet. Okay, so the scraping part works. Now I'm gonna try doing the screenshot part. Status git commit -a-m. We said working Google scraper takes first page and spits out JSON. Nice. So that worked, and it wasn't actually that bad. Now let's try to do the screenshot part. Sorry about that, Werther's original. I don't know why my internet does that. So we have the scraper. Now let's try making the same thing, but that returns a screenshot. So I'm gonna take this scraper, and let's say screenshot.handler path screenshot. So we're now going to have two functions deployed. One is going to return a JSON of the top 10 results, and the other is going to return a screenshot. And returning a screenshot, I think, is going to be harder than it looks. So I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do that, but let's see. ls source, and let's do cp source scraper ts to source screenshot.ts. Yeah, screenshot ts. So I'm gonna open a screenshot ts, and I'm going to extract some stuff that is common into a common. Export type response, export async blah, command s. Let's call this util.ts. Let's call it util.ts. The place where the code you don't like goes to die. We take Chrome. No. Take this, put it here. That should be everything. And now we need to import browser from Puppeteer, and we import. What do we import? We import API response and get Chrome. API response and get Chrome from /util. And we put that in both the scraper and the screenshot functions so that we can share the code. And then I guess most of the handler is actually pretty similar as well. It gets the yes, Mehdi, you're right. A new page for every navigation context is important, which is what I'm doing when you I forget where I'm doing it, but the handler code actually looks pretty similar. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put the handler code in our util, export const handler, API gateway event. We get that from AWS Lambda. and both scraper and screenshot have the same basic handler. They just call a different method to do things. Okay. So we're going to have a const handler, let's call it a handler generator, which is going to take a work function, and that's a function, so work function, and it's going to call it here work function. Am I getting too fancy? Do you think this is going to be too hard for people to understand when I try to write about it? Call the function that does the real work. Okay, so now here my scraper can be export const handler equals create handler, which takes in the scrape Google function, and we import create handler from util like that, and we call it create handler. Nice. Yeah, there's definitely a SaaS based on this that makes a lot of money. That is kind of always true, isn't it? Export const create handler called which gets screenshot Google. So this one's going to be screenshot Google. So we have scraper that creates the handler, and then here we create handler, and we're going to write a function called screenshot Google. So screenshot Google is going to do all of the same stuff. Awesome. I'm happy you guys think this is fine. So screenshot Google is going to do all of the same stuff. It goes to the page, waits for the page to load. See, it initializes a new page for a new context, waits for the page to load, types into the input box, clicks submit, and then goes to that URL. And then here we're going to take a screenshot. Now, how did I take screenshots in the past? I'm gonna look this up, and then should I try uploading this to S3 and returning a function, or should I try serving it back directly? Because that could be cool. Screenshot, Lambda screenshot as a service. Wow, this has gotten a lot of stars. I think people use this as an example for getting started. Screenshot, take screenshot. How did I do it here? So we do all of these things, we get the stuff, and then image path goes into temp. Aha, all right. Screenshot. So we're gonna get all of this, and we say const image path equals, so it's storing into temp. Let's say new date, get, or should we, let's just generate a UUID. Or what is that other thing that look made for generating IDs? Let's see. Look id UUID, and the reason I'm looking for that is because it is a UUID, but it is, god damn it, but it's easier. Yeah, you're right, Werther. It is better if we just put it back. So I can't figure out that, so I'm going to just generate UUIDs. Or should I use timestamps? I think I like UUIDs more, although it's only temporary, so yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's create a new date, say get time, like that. So, and we say that it's a PNG, right? Yep. Come on. .png. That's the image path. And then we say await page dot screenshot. We take path of image path, and what else? So if we go to Puppeteer screenshot, page dot screenshot, so we can say the path that it saves to, type defaults to PNG, quality not applicable, full page takes defaults to false. Okay, so do we want a clip? Okay, so we need a clip. Do we want a clip of this, or should we just, let's just do full page. Full page is true, and we'll see what we get. No overload matches this call. Okay, what of this stuff is required? So just image path is required. Type quality defaults to blah, full page, let's say true. That gives us the full page, and then when we get the screenshot in that path, we need to actually read it and figure out how to serve it back. How did I do that here? So here, I then try to upload the screenshot. Come on, go there. Yay, that works. Upload screenshot, which would read the file. Read file. So putting it back could be difficult, but let's figure this out. So we return what? Oh, and another problem is that here we are JSON stringifying the results. Let's get the results directly from the function. So here in the scraper, we're going to return JSON stringify of the links, and in the screenshot we're going to return so we say import fs from fs, and then you can say fs.read file sync of image path, right? And what does that return? Read file sync returns a buffer, reads the entire contents of a file. Actually, I can look that up. Node fs read file sync. So I think we're gonna end up getting back a lot of read file sync, a lot of binary data that's not actually going to end up looking like a string. File name or file descriptor, path buffer, read file sync. Okay, so that just outputs the data, returns the contents of the path. Okay, so, but then how do we actually parse that? Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Yarn deploy. Set header, content type, image PNG, res, and screenshot binary. I like that. Okay, we're gonna try to do that. First, we're gonna get a bunch of data. Content type, yeah. Okay, so while that's deploying and we're gonna see a bunch of binary output, here I need to figure out, let's say that the function needs to return the full response, because I think that's gonna be easier. So we say response, and then the work function needs to be a function that gets browser and search string and returns a promise API response. Okay. Yeah, and we're gonna need to import browser from, where are we importing browser from? Puppeteer. Okay, so this way we can now make sure these things need to return the full response. It's now saying that scrape Google isn't returning the right stuff. So we need to say that it's returning the whole, this thing. And that way we'll have more control over using different, what's up with prettier now? Come on. Okay, so this is now happy. And this way we're gonna have more, what was I gonna say? More control over the headers and stuff. So in screenshot, we can change this to say that we are now returning status code 200 and body, which is the read file sync, and also what are you complaining about? Does not do body buffer. So what we need to change, oh, we also need headers. Is that how we do headers? Let's see, I know I've done headers in this project before. On source index.js. How do I do headers in Lambda? I just put them there. Great. So we say headers, and I like make these, who said content minus type is image/png. Now I need to fix my type here to also support headers as a key and key string mapping, and body, which is a string or a buffer. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this same thing. We're gonna get a bunch of binary output in here, hopefully. So if we go to screenshot, it's gonna say now that I don't have a search parameter. And when I add a search parameter, let's say JavaScript, it should now spit out a bunch of weird looking binary stuff. I hope. We'll see if it does. It's supposed to be taking a screenshot, and it internal server errored, but let's try yarn deploying again and trying again. Maybe actually I can check what the error was. So if we go to CloudWatch, I'm already deploying a new version, which is supposed to serve the image back to us. And let's see. Whoa. No, that wasn't the right one. Come on. Oh, we now have to look at the screenshot lambda. Screenshot. This one. Oh, nice. Okay, 6. HTTP response code 413. Quoi? I have no idea where that was. Failed to post handler success response. Okay, so we're gonna try that again and see what happens. Okay. So in theory, this should take a screenshot and serve it back to us. And if it doesn't, then we're gonna have to figure it out and debug this shit. Payload too big? Yeah, I don't know what does 413 actually mean? Oh, payload too large? But we didn't make a very big request. So I don't know where. The problem is that I don't know what spat out that error or where it came from. Okay, stack update finished. All right. Let's try that again. So we get the, we're supposed to be making the screenshot and stuff. Okay. Internal server error. Cool. So we go here. Let's see what the internal server error was. Failed to post handler success response. What is causing that to happen? Let's try not having full page then. Let's try. Let's see, where was I looking at stuff? CloudWatch, Puppeteer. Okay, yeah. Okay, clip. Let's try clipping it. It may want it in binary. So I thought that fs read file sync would make it in binary, but maybe not. Oh, actually, we can also try serve images from Lambda. Maybe that's something that Lambda just doesn't allow. Okay, so let's try clipping this to where would we? Oh, come on. Serve image from AWS Lambda. Okay. Send an image as a response. Looks like this is a known issue, or just something that I wasn't aware of. So let's go back to full page. And it might be that we will have to image storage. Whatever. Yeah, okay, that is not. Yeah, S3, okay, so how do I actually serve it from Lambda? Okay. Content type, image PNG, image to string base64. Aha. Okay, so we need to do to string base64, and then is base64 encoded needs to be true. What? What? That's confusing. Okay, so we need to return it as status code headers body is base64 encoded. We add that as true. And now I need to go into my response here and say that this is a boolean, an optional boolean. Now in serverless YAML, how do I use this to define content? Actually, let's just try that first. So yarn deploy. Okay, so that's interesting, Werters. All right. Content handling. Let's see. Serverless framework API gateway content handling. Okay. Content handling. Aha! Nice. So we can do that here. Would we have response? We can say content handling convert to binary. Okay, let's try redeploying that again. But yeah, Werther's, the thing is that looking at my stream in 360p does help make it faster on your end, but that doesn't affect the resolution I'm uploading at, and the network issues on my side are that my internet keeps cycling from full upload speed down to smaller upload speed. And the biggest problem why that I don't know why that happens actually, but the reason that 360p helps you is that I'm streaming at what is a relatively huge resolution, to 2560 by 1440. The reason I stream at that is because, as you noticed, when you go to 360p, the text looks blurry. And I found that if I stream at a large size, even when people are watching on a smaller screen or with a smaller, just in a smaller window, it still looks clear enough for them to read. Whereas if I stream at a lower resolution, then everything starts looking kind of weird. Now, is this... come on, upload. Why is it that these streams always end up taking way longer than I thought they would? But we've made some really cool things, and I've learned a lot so far. Camera battery died. Okay, so am I moving? I'm not moving. But if I do this, then I start moving again. Wonderful. Now we can go back here and try this again. So I'm trying to search for JavaScript, and I'm hoping that it's now magically going to work, but I have no idea whether it will. And if this doesn't work, then it's going to be time for some console logs so that we can see where in the code we're even getting to. Oh, well, we got an image back. It's not a very useful image, right? Is it? Are we seeing an image? We are seeing an image. So yeah, screenshot search JavaScript. It just doesn't look like a very useful image. Okay, so we can go back to screenshot TS, and let's see. We're doing page.screenshot. Let's, instead of full page, let's see how we can limit our results, limit our thing just to the results. Clear both. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to say bCenter call. Center call. There we go. ID center call. So that's the part we're gonna try to screenshot. Now I'm going to get the actual size and stuff. Oh, cool. Okay. And I'm going to cheat that from my old code. Take screenshot. Where are we at? Aha. So we're going to get the element bounding box. We're gonna say here const x, y, width, and height equals a weight of page dot dollar hash center call. Aha. So we're going to say like this. This part is specific to the page you're screenshotting. We say const element equals await page center call, and then we get the await element dot get bounding box. That gets us the results, and we need to make sure that if the element doesn't exist, we're going to throw an error saying couldn't find results div. With that, we get the x, y, width, and height. All the structure's elements are unused, and we put those in the clip, and we say x, y, width, height. And what is it complaining about now? Property height does not exist on type bounding box or null. Blah, blah, blah. Why does it not exist on bounding box or null? Okay, bounding box. And for the clip, we say bounding box like that. And if we don't get the bounding box, we say throw couldn't measure size of results div. Cool. So now we're going to deploy that again, and hopefully this time we're going to get a nice screenshot. At least we've resolved the problem of serving images from AWS Lambda, which was interesting. I had no idea that feature actually existed. I just figured it was something that must be possible. And fingers crossed that this works. And if that doesn't work, well, I'm still gonna have to stop streaming because I have other stuff I have to go do. But we're making good progress. Come on, computer. Computer, do it. All right, so we're gonna try this again, and I want to actually see what comes back over the network. So load the page, and this is now running a search on Google, taking a screenshot, saving the screenshot to a temporary location, reading it, and then serving it back. And it comes back as a blank page. Yep. That is indeed one of the use cases. Headers. Okay, so it got a bunch of stuff back. Response. The response has no data available. It looks like the image doesn't actually come back. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to debug that some other time. But thanks everyone for watching. We got at least the scraping part to work. Something weird is happening with the screenshot part. And yeah, I have some other stuff I have to get to, and then I'll debug this later. And if you're subscribed to stuff, you're gonna get the serverless handbook chapter that's going to explain all of this in great detail, probably tomorrow or the day after that. So Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you again next Sunday. Bye.